Hello, everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? You don't need to answer that. Alright. So, Under the Veil. I know, nobody listens to these. However, I don't feel comfortable just leaving this channel abandoned. I mean, let's look at the last time. It was 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, and these were made one day after each other, I believe. I think. Or 3 days. Either way, it's been a while. I should probably find more fan fictions to, well, be able to read. So, I'm just gonna go back to Under the Veil. Then, I'll make 3 videos, why not? So, first off, I'll make Under the Veil, Part 9, Chapter 9. Hold on, let me find some other things. I'll just do Under the Veil. 1 video. Let's begin. For all the nonsense still going on around them, what with the confetti still drifting about and the quacking duck, the atmosphere in the closet was pretty tense. One of the paper dragons had selected Perkins' head as a perch, but despite the silliness of a miniature origami, Norwegian ridgeback, bedding down in an older man's fluffy white hair, Sirius remained intently focused on him as a possible threat. Sans just shrugged. Anyway, we're here for Sirius's glorified twig. Pretty sure it's in. He tapped the lid of the chest he was still sitting on for emphasis. This box here. The elderly wizard raised one eyebrow at the less than flattering name for a wand, but otherwise did not remark on it. Sorry. He leaned forward slightly, squinting at what he could see of the chest in question. It did look rather familiar. Yes, that's probably the right one. It's got a magic doohickey, said Sans, attempting to prompt more info. A harmless enough charm, if I remember correctly. Perkins drew his wand from his sleeve, a simple 12-inch brand of warm orangish brown wood. I should be able to. Sirius sprang to his. Oh. Welcome, Extreme.
Hi.
So, do you also want to read or no?
No, I'm just here to listen.
Alright.
If you don't mind.
Sirius sprang to his feet, clearly disturbed that a wand had been drawn by a potential enemy when he could not do the same in turn. Bitingly gazed and accusing.
I'm gonna go on mute.
What are you doing? No. Wait, hold on. Sirius doesn't sound like that. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Bitingly.
No, I don't know.
Well, sons, hello! Alright, that's Sirius's voice. Just had to get it back in. Bitingly hissed and accusing. What are you doing? Why, hello, sons. What are you doing? I think that's his voice. I'm not sure. Perkins was taken aback by the sudden shift from antsy to pretty much outright hostile, and froze in place. He had never known Sirius could be so jumpy. He carefully lowered his wand so that it wasn't pointed at any of them, and then gestured a calm and placating gesture. "Serious," he began, and when the younger man stiffened at his familiar manner, Perkins reluctantly changed it. "Mr. Black, then, I assure you my only intent is to remove the locking charm." He was still semi-crouched, tense and untrusting, until Sans smacked his shoulder. No, bad, Sirius. Sirius stammered a few unintelligible arguments, none of which got very far before he was cut off. No, bad. Then, with a shrug, Sans reassuringly added, "Besides, I can get us out long before he tries anything, if he tries anything. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at noticing those things." As the skeleton stood up, scooching the chest forward with one slippered foot, Perkins kept his wand down so as to not startle Sirius again. Am I too loud or too quiet?
No, just that's great.
Thank you. Alright.
Keep going. I'm interested.
Alright. Perkins kept his wand down so as to not startle Sirius again. Instead, he cocked his head curiously. "On that point, how did you get in without anyone noticing?" He paused briefly, "except apparently that duck." The persistent duck had, in fact, been quacking up a storm the entire time since appearing. Now, finally acknowledged by all three people in the room, he gave a distinctly not satisfied nod and shut up. Quite the odd detection thingamajig using a duck. Trade secret, or in other words, magic. You guys are wizards, shouldn't you know how this works? "You're a bit of a cheat, Rattles," said Sirius, unable to resist a chuckle at Sans' exaggerated tone. "Wait, hold on. In other words, magic. You guys are wizards. Shouldn't you know how this works?" "You're a bit of a cheat, Rattles," said Sirius, unable to resist a chuckle. Having noticed that the supposed crazy criminal was acting significantly less crazed, Perkins took a chance and asked, "Mr. Black, if I may." He pointed to the locked box with an empty hand. Sirius hesitated, considering everyone and everything, before going quiet and staring off into space. He was conflicted, not sure if Perkins could be trusted. But if the old man really did harm, Sirius's objection wouldn't be worth much anyway. Not actually done anything aggressive since entering. He gave a slow nod and took a small step back. With a slight smile, the elderly wizard swished his wand at the chest with a muttered incantation, "Fuck off, Locke," and a stream of silver light zapped the metallic-looking blob, keeping it closed. The chest is now open, revealing a large, particularly obscene amount of wands. The false wand stash. Can't believe they tossed real wands, mine included in with the lot. Well, Sans, we have a journey. Perkins carefully put his own wand away. "I suppose if you must find a place to store old wands you don't want it being used, a box full of fakes is rather ideal." "Why did you even have these?" They're perfect for our latest pranks, of course." Sirius said as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. "And they make for a convenient alibi. After all, you couldn't have cast a spell since your wand was clearly right there, in plain sight." After watching his friend paw through the mostly fake wands, pun intended, Sans finally stepped forward and just kicked the chest over, spilling them across the floor. "Sans, what?" Ignoring that, and Perkins' confused, questioning look, he closed his eye sockets to find the right stick using magic. A minute later, he twitched a finger, and his blue magic lifted the wand of Sirius out of the jumble. Is this your wand? Sirius snatched it with a noise that might as well be an excited bark. Why didn't I... Wait, hold on. Why didn't I have you do that from the start? That was so much easier. Then, with a flick of his newly reacquired wand, he cleaned himself up, more than a garden hose could ever hope to. Spiffy. Sans poked at one of the other real wands with his foot, picked it up to examine it more closely. Magical core made from some magical creature. It didn't feel as monster-like as he thought. Then again, the feathered creature Sirius had ridden hadn't felt particularly monster-y either, so whatever. I suppose you have no need for a wand. Perkins watched the skeleton turn the stick over in his hands. Left eye light perhaps a shade more blue than the right. He shrugged. Yup, it's pretty neat though. Why don't you give it a wave? Yes, Rattles, why don't you? Sirius chimed in, and animosity towards the older man completely discarded. Try it out! Sans, with a shrug, still seeming hesitant, slipped some of his magic into the wand and swished it through the air. Nothing happened, nothing new anyway. The giant out of place wheel of cheese he had been aiming at floated into the air as expected, but the wand might as well have not been there at all. Well, that was disappointing. What are you... The elderly wizard's question was interrupted as a long crack, by a loud crack, as a fracture ran down the length of the wand Sans was holding. I'll try to make the sound. That was a Cheez-It bag. Just imagine that on a tone of... just louder. Way louder. Splitting into two. An instant later, it violently shattered, falling to pieces. That. Sans began nonchalantly, dusting off his hands, was more of what I expected, honestly. Sirius picked up the largest piece, barely 2 centimeters long, before flicking it aside. Excuse me, Rattles. Why would you have expected that? Apparently wands are pseudo-sentient, and destroying souls results in them bursting, so... Boom. He shrugged. Plus, my magic typically only goes through things. Through things by destroying them. What do you mean by destroying souls? Perkins asked, concerned by the implication. Souls. Corrected Sans. Sirius just rolled his eyes, and when Perkins turned to him in confusion, chuckled slightly. Yeah, I don't really hear the difference either. From what I can tell, it's basically the same thing. A muffled voice calling from the outside drew everyone's attention. What was that noise? Is everything alright in there? Yeah, okay, apparently it's a male. Oh, that's weird. What was that noise? Is everything alright in there? Yes, Arthur. Just knocked over another box is all. Do you need any help tidying up? No, I'm quite alright. Turning at it serious in a whisper. I expect you'll help, given you're the reason for all this mess. It's Sans' fault, standing around in the dark. Technically, you're the one who made this stuff in the first place, so really it's on you. Ganging up on me now, are we? Okay, fine. Sirius went way off fixing collateral damage. I'm still curious about this soul thing. But I suppose our time now is limited. Do you need help getting out of here safely? How do you think we got here? We got in. You weren't particularly forthcoming when I asked earlier, but I figured I'd make an offer regardless. Seeing as I didn't notice anyone else so much as look at this closet for hours, I haven't the faintest idea how you got in here. Like I said, it was magic! Sirius finished, earning a disgruntled look in return. And we shall magic our way out as well. Then do you need somewhere to stay? I'd have to apologize to Arthur since I promised to lend it to him this summer, but I do have a tent I could give you. No, I've already got a plan for that. I've finally gotten the serious voice back. Perkins smiled at Tone, and Tone, a bit put out, said, It really seems like you don't need my help at all right now. Well, at least I can do one thing. Before you magic yourselves away, I ask that you take this. He gave him a notebook. While he pulled out another notebook. Both notebooks looked to be identical. Why are you carrying around both of them? I only bought them today. Though I suppose that worked out nicely in the end. Some sort of pair thing? What are they? They're some sort of pair thing, obviously. Very helpful, wise guy. See for yourself. Having felt, Perkins wrote down something on the book. And having felt the magic reverberate or something like that, Sand snatched the notebook from Sirius and went to the very beginning. A new note had been written at the top of the second page. Just in case. He read aloud. Just in case of what? I'm no seer, of course, so there's no way I could know. Just keep in mind if you get up to more mischief than you can manage. Sirius abruptly spun his attention back to the older wizard, a peculiar expression to his face. He slowly brought one hand up and held it in front of Perkins' mouth. Then he lowered it, raised it again, lowered it. Perkins cocked an eyebrow, clearly wondering what he was trying to do. Ah, Mark Perkins! The eyebrow inched higher. Yes, that is my name. Yes, but I know you. You always said stuff like that whenever you caught James and me setting pranks around the office. Think you worked in the misuse of Muggle artifact departments, right? Just down the hall. Perkins was glad that Sirius hadn't entirely forgotten him. Still do, actually. And you're only remembering this now. How thick's your skull? We've been talking to this guy for at least half an hour. In my defense, he used to have a beard, and it's been well over 14 years. It's only been 12 years, Mr. Black. Right, yeah, my mistake. You can call me Sirius. Sorry about the whole forgot who you were thing. I'm gonna, the Cheez-It bag from earlier? I'm gonna... Perkins, while still curious, chose to largely drop that strange slip up of 2-year difference. Regardless, 2 more years or no, I appreciate that you haven't forgotten me completely. Hopefully you see what now. I wasn't too keen on criminalizing you. Well... that didn't stop a lot of people. Make a list. What? A list. Make a list of the ones who matter and make sure I don't know, mess with them. Messing with people helps deal with stuff, especially if those people are the source of that stuff. I like the way you think, Rattles. It's just the bare bones of an idea, but I'm sure you can flesh it out. Perkins looked torn between slapping the skeleton for his puns or chuckling at them, but in the end he just sighed. Of course he can. I'd imagine just introducing them to you would count as messing with them. True, but then I hold that thought. I'd say it's time we make like a heart and beat it. Just as he finished the sentence, a voice from outside spoke up again. This blasted glitter has it in for me, I swear! Then Arthur opened the door. Sans decided it was time to leave. He didn't bother to grab Sirius. He did get a quick nod goodbye and then teleported. Elderly Wizard had less than half a second to be confused before they vanished. She didn't even blink. They were just simply gone. That answers my earlier question, but at the same time raises several more. That certainly seems to be quite the case, Arthur. Arthur was colored in a bunch of glitter that changed its color. Arthur appears looking at the closet's mess. Merlin's beard! Those must have been impressive marbles to cause this mess. How did this happen? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Sirius looks at Sans, confused. How did you do that? You mean the thing I've already done? What? 9, maybe 10 times now? Yes, I mean, no. I mean, Merlin's pants, Rattles. How did you take me along? Unless I've been numb for the past few minutes, you didn't touch me at all. I didn't. The question, Sans. Answer the question. But I did. It was just another one of my shortcuts. Sans was actually confused about what the issue was. Physical contact never really played a part since installing the magic, though it did make it slightly easier to track and follow Sirius's lead. Oh, and I don't need to touch you to send you through one if that was the issue. You don't. Sirius sighed, shrugged. Well, I did say you were a bit of a cheat, didn't I? The hippogriff, who had been startled by their sudden reappearance and until this point had been silently watching, snorted. As if in agreement, Buckbeak could feel the strange lazy power that drifted about the short skeleton who, more than keenly than any wizard, any magical creature would. Grinning at both man and beast, Sans sat down on the grass with an oh well, too bad sort of attitude. After a moment, Sirius joined him on the ground, then he abruptly stood up, slapping his forehead in happy exasperation. What am I doing? I have a wand! He summons chairs. Really settling in, aren't you? Weren't we going to go to some creepy old house? Right, to Grim Old Palace! Whoa, wait. You're telling me your creepy house is literally a grim old palace? Slowly, Sirius turned to look at his friend. His expression made it clear. Merlin's beard! He had never realized. And that was chapter 9. Hold on. So, Extreme, what do you think of chapter 9?
Interesting. I enjoyed it.
Can you not?
Do what?
What are you playing?
Sorry, my friend had it on blast. Surprised he had that game going the whole time. Sorry about that.
Alright.
I enjoyed it.
Just in case you didn't realize, it's
Rip the
Harry.
Cheez-It bag, by the way.
I mean, it's open now.
Ah.
I told you I was eating Cheez-Its at some point in the story.
Yeah. And then you killed it when the wand broke.
No, I killed it before that. Then I opened it later.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was funny.
Your sense of humor is weird.
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
So, this is Arcane Warlock signing off. Chapter 10 may be released tomorrow.
Great.
I may be by myself, though.
Oof.
That's gonna be annoying, but fun. Not as fun as if I was with Steelix, because then we have...
Yeah, Steelix can't go in Discord anymore.
You can't?
Yeah.
Why?
His parents or something.
I probably
They
shouldn't be
just-
recording, hold on. Anyways, goodbye. Over and
Alright,
out.
see ya.
No, wait. I mean as in the recording.
Oh yeah.